This video contains commentary. If you're looking for a channel with a robotic voice and zero personality, then this channel may not be for you. What is good, my little Dudosaurus Rexes? Welcome back to Storytime with your favorite Reddit fairy. My name is Lorna, and today we're getting into some r/ChoosingBeggars. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and let's get right into it. Real estate agent doesn't want to pay my rate for pictures. Posted by user David Reed Images. This happened a few years ago. I just photographed a home for an agent I'd worked with a couple of times before and who'd always jokingly, I thought, complained about what I charged. At the time, I was actually cheaper than most other photographers around here, mainly due to relocation and not knowing this market as well. So I tell her what to write the check for, and she says, "That's too much," and writes me a check for 50% of what I just told her. I said that wasn't enough, and she said, "That's what other photographer would charge." And I knew that was patently false. So I went home and processed the pictures, and in the middle of every picture, I put a black box that covered exactly 50% of the picture. Then I sent them to her. "What's wrong with these pictures?" "You paid 50%, you get 50%. She PayPal'd me the other 50%. Haven't heard from her since. Weird." That's pretty good. I like that. That's get them back with their own game. You know what I mean? Like, this is a good one. I like this very much. How's it going, my dudes? Let me know in the comments. What are you guys up to today? Did you guys have to work? Did Sally, screw up somebody's email and then let in a virus? Let me know. What crazy thing happened to you at work today in the comments below. So let me tell you about a woman that demanded to be paid for getting a free ride because there was a girl with cancer in the car. Posted by user the Linda DE. I don't know if I said that right. Backstory. This happened when I was studying at a university and living with my parents. Our village is located roughly an hour drive from a big city where most of our neighborhood work, including my mom, her nice friend in the IT department, and the choosing beggar, all employed by the same firm. There's a train to the city and the neighboring village, but it's half an hour walk, so my mother would generally drive to work and I'd tag along whenever our schedules allowed it. Around 2 months before the story takes place, the choosing beggar realized she could ride to work and back home with my mom, and my mother being a generous person, she's agreed to do that, demanding no payment as it wasn't any major inconvenience for her, and she was aware that the choosing beggar was doing low-salary job and had young kids at home. The nice IT friend, let's call her Anne, who is always taking a train home, asked my mother a few days beforehand if she and her daughter could ride home with her on Friday, as her daughter was going to be released from just a routine checkup at the local hospital in the city. She also offered to take an early leave so that they'd be ready by the car, but my mom said they'd just go to the hospital together as it's only 10 minutes detour. Come Friday, and surprisingly, I finish my classes early and message my mom if I can tag along. My mom says yes, but at the same time explains quickly Anne's situation and that the car will be packed. No problem for me. 5 minutes to 5, I arrive at the parking and see the choosing beggar waiting already. This woman must never work till the end of the shift. She sees me and gets visibly annoyed, saying something along the lines of, "Oh, and now this car is gonna become a public bus for annoying teenagers." I was in my 20s and rather quiet in the car. I pretend I heard nothing and just wait patiently. 10 minutes later, my mom arrives with Anne and we drive towards the hospital. The checkout must have been busy as we wait for about 20 minutes, but it's fine with me and mom as it's a special situation. However, the choosing beggar rants about waiting all the time, much to our annoyance. Anne finally shows and we quickly realize that it was by no means just a checkup. Anne's daughter looks very frail and thin, face white, bald head covered with a scarf, barely holding up, clearly just released from chemotherapy. I immediately get off the front seat and go out to grab the daughter's luggage from Anne to place in the trunk and let her take the front as I don't feel comfortable having her crammed up in the back. Choosing beggar is rather a large woman. Not like that's anything bad, but there was hardly any room on the back with her and Anne in my mom's city car. Anne quietly thanks me and we roll back home in relative silence as the daughter fell asleep immediately. We go to Anne's home first, just on the way, and they start leaving quickly. Anne's daughter throws up a moment she wakes up, getting some puke on the car and quickly starts apologizing. We say we don't mind, and there it starts. Anne takes out her wallet and gets a bill that exchanged for around $60 and insists on paying my mom for both the ride and cleaning the car, which my mom quickly declines. However, at the same moment, the choosing beggar reaches for the money. For a moment, everything is silent, and then the conversation goes like this. Choosing beggar. I'll be taking it, thanks. Me. On what grounds? Choosing beggar. Well, we had to take this huge detour, and I'll be like 40 minutes late at home. Me. Well, you would be even later had you taken the train. It's none of your concern. Choosing beggar. I don't take any trains home. I always ride this car, and I'm not just being late. This car has been ruined by Anne's daughter. Me. It's not even your car, and we don't mind. Choosing beggar. I take it every day, so it's mine as well. Me. BS, it's my mom's car and she decides what to do with it. Choosing beggar. Anyways, daughter puked in my close proximity. I'm surely entitled to some damages. Anne. No, it's right. I'm so sorry. She grabs the $60, puts it in my mother's handbag, and proceeds to take another banknote, around $25, and hands it to choosing beggar, who quickly pockets the money. Me. Heck, Anne, you shouldn't have given her a thing. She takes a ride with my mom daily and pays us nothing. Anne. Oh, I thought she was paying for the fuel. Me. As she should have. Choosing beggar. It doesn't matter. I take this car every day, and now I'm covered in some sick girl's vomit. What if my kids catch what she's sick with? Puke got nowhere near her. Daughter shouts in a very raspy voice. I have a brain tumor. It's not contagious. That somehow managed to shut the choosing beggar up. My mom got out and took the daughter's luggage and walked Anne and her daughter home, slipping the banknote she was given to their mailbox on their way back. She says nothing and drives straight to choosing beggar's home. She'd normally leave her at the crossroad nearby, and speaks for the first time in a while. I was driving you because it wasn't inconvenient for me, but it just became a large inconvenience. This partnership is done. I don't care if you take the train from now on, get your own car, or just quit your job. I will not be driving you anywhere unless you or your kids are dying. The $25 you were given for no reason should be enough for a week's worth of train tickets anyways, so enjoy. This car is mine and mine only, so get out now. After I hardly saw the choosing beggar at all, hopefully she's never coming back into the picture, and my mom drives to work with Anne now, who, even if nobody asks her to, pays for the fuel. Anne's daughter is in remission now, so she's doing much better if you're curious. Have a good day, y'all. Sorry for the long post. I just had to tell the story to more people. And sorry if the English is not perfect. I am not a native speaker. Okay, but first off, OP, your English is much better than most native English speakers, so kudos to you. That was not bad. Second, really, you're gonna feel that entitled? This person is dying, like literally, well, was. They're in remission now, so they're okay. But they were looking not good, you know? Like, why would you be so mean to somebody who's clearly going through some shit? You know what I mean? Like, and then on top of it, expect payment. That's like, I just watched a video about a guy that what was it? Did he break into somebody's home and they shot him or something? He didn't die, but he got injured somehow. And then he ended up suing the homeowners or something for a reckless endangerment. I don't know, something like that. It's probably in one of those states where people aren't allowed to have guns in their house. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but I don't know. They got injured somehow and they tried to retaliate. I don't remember all the details. I saw this a while ago, and there's probably multiple instances of this happening. I'm pretty sure, because the justice system is seriously flawed in like everywhere, not just America, Canada too, and don't even get me started on that. There's a whole person that comes to mind when it comes to the Canadian justice system and how our justice system is failing as a whole. But anyways, let's get into the next story. But before I do, don't forget to smash that like button, tickle the subscribe button, and turn on notifications for future videos just like this one, my dudes. Choosing Beggar calls the cops when we wouldn't return her hair straightener because we're going out of business. Posted by user TJGAIS. Buckle up, guys. This is a pretty long and wild one. So this happened a while ago while I lived in Hawaii. Some backstory. I worked as a receptionist at a hair salon in the biggest mall on Oahu, and monthly rent for the store was about $8,000. So eventually, the company just kind of folded and we had a going out of business sale. On the very last day, we had 2 workers, the manager and the regional manager in the store to help. Everyone who came in to buy got told we were closing. All sales were final, and they got their receipt stamped with a big, red, no returns, all sales final stamp. So, enter the Choosing Beggar. Here's the cast. Me, regional manager, Choosing Beggar, and random person the Choosing Beggar dragged into this, and HPD, the police officers. So Choosing Beggar wanders into the store and kinda looks around a little, makes a couple of loops around. It wasn't a big store, like there were maybe size big shelves and the receptionist desk, and then kinda wanders aimlessly to the back, where the manager is sorting through product to make more markdowns. Choosing Beggar asks to look at the flat irons and curlers. So manager tells her that she's happy to help. She'll even take a few out of the boxes and let her test them since we're going out of business and there won't be any returns. So she wants to make sure she has the exact thing she wants. Now I'm checking other people out about 5 feet away and I can hear and see them. Manager spends a good 30 to 40 minutes and repeatedly tells her that there will be no returns. She must have felt like this lady was going to cause trouble because then Choosing Beggar has finally picked a straightener out. Manager checked her out herself but had me standing by to watch. So while she's doing the transaction, manager tells Choosing Beggar one more time that this is a final sale. We won't accept any returns and we're going out of business. Choosing Beggar agreed. Manager finishes the transaction, takes the receipt, and stamps it with final sale, no returns accepted, and circles it. Choosing Beggar walks out of the store, apparently happy. Fast forward to about an hour later, and random person wanders in, starts asking me about the sale and if it really is no returns. Now, I'd been working at this mall for a little, and I recognized this woman. She worked at one of the small mobile kiosks that sold overpriced ceramic hair straighteners. So I wondered why she was in here asking about hair straighteners when she suddenly goes, "Well, I have a friend who just bought a straightener and she's not happy with it and wants to return it." I explained again that we couldn't accept returns, that the store would literally be closed the next day and we were going out of business. Random person looked a bit deflated and goes, "Well, she's not really my friend. I work at this kiosk and she came by and said you guys were being really mean and wouldn't let her return the straightener." So at this point, manager hears this and realizes it was the Choosing Beggars she was talking about, and comes over to explain that she spent nearly an hour helping this woman and told her several times it was final sale. So random person wanders out, and about 15 minutes later, Choosing Beggar wanders back in. Choosing Beggar: "I want to return this straightener." Manager: "I'm sorry, but as I told you before, all sales are final today." Choosing Beggar: "I just bought it today. I still have the receipt." Here she flashes the receipt with the final sale stamped on it. "So you should be able to return it." Me: "No, I'm sorry, but I can't do any returns today. All sales are final, and it clearly says so on your receipt." Choosing Beggar: "No, that's not fair. You have to return it. That's the law. On the back of the receipt, it says I have 30 days for a full refund." They go back and forth for a minute or two more, and then Choosing Beggar huffs out of the store, stands outside, and makes a phone call. The manager and I think nothing of it until 2 police officers show up, and Choosing Beggar starts gesturing angrily towards us. The police officers must have immediately realized what had happened, since she showed them the straightener and the receipt. But they came in to talk to the manager anyways. At this point, manager is so angry and frustrated. Manager explained the situation, and the police just shook their heads and went back outside. I left work shortly after that, but they were still outside and the police were lecturing her about calling the police over a hair straightener. Oh God. Why are you the way you are? Like, clearly you were told many times that you can't return it. You can't return it. And I'm pretty sure on the back she's probably clearly reading over the part that says unless otherwise marked final sale. My God, I haven't even worked retail in years and it just still makes sense. You know what I mean? Why are you the way you are, choosing beggars? You guys are so oblivious to your choosy beggarness. Choosing beggarness. I don't know. God. Choosy beggary? Choosing... I don't know. I'm done. Okay, let's move on to the next story. I'm on the list, so I get VIP privileges. Posted by user Trashy China Woman. Sounds familiar. I'm pretty sure I just read one of this poster's stories before. All right, let's get into it. Have a friend who work at a mid-sized music venue. Mostly local artists, but some big names play there too. He would often get me into shows for free while I was a poor college student. My friend's girlfriend found out and asked if I could get her into a show as a band she liked was playing there next month. I said I'd ask, but told her no promises. Anyways, my friend agrees and puts her on the list +1 so her boyfriend can go too. I let her know and she's super grateful. So I didn't think much of it until the day after the show. My friend who works at the venue gets in touch with me. Don't ever ask me to put her on the list again. What happened? She showed up and demanded to be taken backstage. We told her no. She insisted that since she's on the list, she gets to go backstage and meet the band. We told her no, again, that being on the list just gets her admission. She then told us that she has health issues and can't be in the crowd. Told her, too bad, she can go up to the balcony level where it's less crowded. She finally gave up on that, then went to the bar and tried to get free drinks. Got miffed she had to pay and didn't tip. After that, her and her boyfriend were just really rude to everyone. I apologized profusely, said I had no idea she would act this way, and further couldn't believe my friend would act that way. I call him up and get his side of the story. Turns out she dumped him for someone else the week before and took new guy to the show with her. Really easy to write her out of my life after that. Wait a second, what? Okay, so this girl was the girlfriend of OP's friend. So OP's friend was dating this girl who asked for these tickets. Then she breaks up with OP's friend and takes the new guy. Oh, that's so gross. You're a gross human. Why? Those people, you know what? You dodged a bullet. This whole thing happened for a reason. I'm pretty sure OP was just the vessel in which this needed to happen. This sucks that, you know, your other friend was so put off about it, but, you know, fuck. OP's friend dodged a bullet. That's all I'm gonna say. He just dodged a bullet. Let's get into the next one. It's apparently unloyal to get paid for your services. Posted by user Diamonds in the Sky 97. Okay, so I can't say a ton about this because this is currently a court matter and my boss is a literal lawyer, but I can say enough to give a good idea on how assholey this whole situation is. So, some context. I work for a tax/realty company, and as vaguely as I can be, I'm one of the higher office administrators for the tax side. I'm a licensed realtor for the realty side, but that's not important to this story. I deal with a ton of clients and the government in multiple forms every day. My boss is a tax attorney and is a kick-ass lawyer at that. The company does really well. Enter our choosing beggar. This asshole has been a client for us for 2+ years and stopped paying his bill for our services last year. So his file plopped onto my desk and I got the fun task of sending reminders, invoices, and finally, a certified demand letter signed by my boss demanding payment or will be suing. Now, my boss is way too nice of a guy and continued to help this client even though he was ignoring everything about the bills. We had read receipts about the invoices and the demand letter was signed by him when it was delivered, so we have more than enough proof that he knew he needed to pay. We served him last week. His wife ended up getting it since the account is under her name, and the dude flips out. Condensing 10 calls and about 20 emails from him. He's insulted that we dared to send him invoices in the first place because he has referred hundreds of clients to our firm. Even more insulted that we served his wife with no calls or emails. Big lie, and he knows it. And has demanded that we drop the case and fully erase the debt owed, or he will personally campaign to close us down and remove your boss's license to practice. My boss, in the most professional way possible, has responded basically, bring it the fuck on. Hopefully I can update after we get this all settled, but I'm currently having to deal with a wave of bad reviews because this idiot is making multiple accounts to smear us. LOL. You know, I wish we could ask for the name of the company so we could all just, Reddit frenzy this person, this business and get them some good reviews. But litigation is underway, my dudes, so I don't think we'll be hearing too many details about this one. All right, that was the top 5 at this point that I did this reading, stories of the day. So let's get into the last story of the day, which will be a bonus. And this one, my dudes, is called Moving Out of the Country, posted by user Mitchie321. This one doesn't really have anyone that stood out as a choosing beggar. I had an opportunity to move out of the UK with my brand spanky new fiance that we simply couldn't pass up. Better pay for both of us, warmer climate, and just getting out of the rut that we'd found ourselves in. Life, not relationship. We were selling anything we could, as quick as we could. Amongst my things were a 50-inch TV, PSVR, and a motorcycle. We literally had days to get rid of this shit, so I posted everything at a flat 50-pound tag with the first collection gets it. I have never lost so much faith in humanity so fast. People asking for delivery. People turning up offering 20 pounds. I had some guy turn up with 35 pounds for a bike that was worth at least 850 pounds in its condition. Search a Suzuki Intruder 125. Not a big bike, but it's fucking beautiful for a beginner. I told the guy that for 50, it's his, and he fucking left. What the hell is wrong with people? Anyway, this was my TED Talk. Thank you for listening. This was 4 months ago, and I'm still salty. Fuck. What is happening? How is it that is too much for a motorcycle and a TV? And what else were they selling? A PSVR? Is that like PlayStation virtual reality? I don't know what that is. Let me know in the comments. School me below, my dudes. But like that's a lot of shit for 50 pounds. What? I have 3 motorcycles and I couldn't even think of getting rid of even one of them for 50 pounds. Are you crazy? And they're like, what? This guy, I mean, I understand you gotta move and everything, but holy cow, like you couldn't even like have a friend store it for you and like help you sell it or something. Oh, that's brutal. So did he sell it to somebody? That's what I want to know. But yeah, way to lose hope in humanity for sure. Jeez. All right, my dudes, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please tickle that little like button below. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for future videos just like this one. As always, the links to these stories will be in the description, so head on over to Reddit and show those posters some love with some upvotes. You know they deserve it. And as always, don't forget to submit your stories. All my socials are in the description below as well. You can find the Discord, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm not on a lot of them a lot, but they're down there. If you want to send something over, I will receive it. You guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace out, my dudes.